السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم استخدم في خدمة القرآن والإيمان والإسلام بالسعادة والسلامة والصحة والعافية والإخلاص والصبر والسكينة. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, and we are thankful to Allah. He gave us the opportunity to start the story of Adam, as known as the Prophet Adam, today, and from different parts of the Quran. And we will concentrate on, of course, how I can find myself in this story, so that I wouldn't read it as a story, as well known the word story or qasas in Arabic. Not made up stories, we have to establish this. Now, what happened in reality, we don't know, but it doesn't mean that we cannot really trust because it didn't happen. Even if it didn't happen, just this is a scenario presented to us in the form of an example, which is the very main principles of the Quran, one of the principles of the Quran, to teach the reality, to teach us the reality by giving very simple but to the point examples, but very simple examples, so that we don't have to be specialized in this subject or whatever the example is given. Anybody, illiterate, most illiterate person also, using his own human capacity, will understand it. What does it mean, the story of Adam, to me right now in my practical life? That is what we always follow in our discussions. What is it to do here? Yep. In our discussion, we always say that, what does it mean to me right now and within my own living conditions? You might have noticed that we have studied the story of Yusuf in the Quran, and really we didn't refer it to any historical context at all, although we didn't mean that, no, historically there was no Yusuf. Just this is a story or example given to us. We don't know. And we know, if God says so, must have been happened in the past, but it is not within my ken that I understand, it really happened. So I'm not expected to confirm it is reality of existence in this world, but I don't have to deny that there was no such case. But it is none of my business. I look at this story, and by definition, my God is speaking to me and telling me a specific message related to my practical life. That's what I am interested in. Neither feel that I am obliged to confirm something which is completely away from my experience. But I am obliged to confirm that this example is given to me relating to my practical life. So I have to experience it, and I have to come to the conclusion that this story is told to me by my creator to tell me in order to help me understand the reality of my existence in this world. So I will experience it or relate it to my life and see I can really confirm the message in this story. This is important. The message in the story should make sense to me, and whether I should confirm it or deny it, saying that, no, the one, as the text says, I am the speech of your creator in order to give you guidance, to teach you what reality is, because you are a human being, and I gave you the abilities to seek the truth. So you have to look for it because you are already given this ability. You cannot deny that it is within you. And within this ability, this story is directly related to your life. So you can easily understand the guidance in it. Guidance means guiding me to what the truth is, what reality is, how I can really answer to my human questions. This is the point. If I am able to confirm it after being very careful that I have to relate the story to myself, if I say, no, it doesn't make sense, neither my intellect nor my feelings confirm it at all, welcome, say no. You are not convinced. No one can force you. You are not convinced. You are free. But think about it freely. That is what the Quran asks. Think about what I am saying with no bias, whatever the type of bias you have, whether pro-religion, the Quran, supporter of the Quran, or denier of religion, denier of the Quran. No, feel free. Then the text in general claims that definitely you will be able to understand that your creator is giving you the answers that you are looking forward to. Related. Let's see. One another point. We discussed all the prophetic stories almost within the same framework of methodology. We recently, just before we started this story, we recently studied the story of Yusuf in the Quran, and we said, Yusuf is me, my situation, different experiences of my life journey. Brothers are within me. I have the option to disobey or reject it, be jealous of him, and compete it, claim to be superior. And Yusuf's father is me. I have to use my intellect. I have to use my consciousness and realize that I should never lose my hope from my creator. And I have to take care of my own responsibility if even my children do not follow what I understand, what I believe, just advise them, leave them, take care of your own responsibility. That is what. And of course, the wife of the high status of governor, Aziz, in the language of the Quran, wife of Aziz symbolizes the passion that is important. Everybody, I have this, and everybody has this passion, which is called in Arabic shahwa. Shahwa in some languages is used only for sexual desire, but it is not. Includes it, but asking for status, fame, honor, money, superior position, whatever, all are called shahwa. Even in the language of the Quran, ishtiha is appetite, expectation of satisfaction of the food or pleasures, appearance or scenery in this in the creation. These are all shahwa. Whatever we want to have it. So all this, we have to be very careful about this, as the story of Yusuf, or particularly the story of the wife of Aziz, revealed to us that what shahwa or passion wants to get hold on conscience and take it under its own control. So conscience must work for me. That is very eager. For example, we don't expect the same, or we don't experience the same attitude from our intellect. Intellect is rather indifferent. How about the brothers? Brothers are competing, coming with an alternative. For me, the most important aspect of human reality is, or comes from, shahwa side of it. It means passion side of it. If I am very much after being having a high status in the world, being a rich man, influential man, politically influential, economically influential, whatever, this is the most dangerous enemy of human conscience, wants to take it. As the Quran said, and we studied, Yusuf also had somehow inclined to it. It means if we are not extremely decisive, convinced that I shouldn't be carried away by passion, I may just get into the trap of passion. I may, even my conscience may get into the trap of it. Means conscience doesn't change its nature, it is always there. But if I am not extremely decisive to be in alliance with my conscience only, not to be carried away by passion. So passion is, to my understanding, you may agree, you may disagree, free. To my understanding, passion is more dangerous than ego, if you like. It means Yusuf's brothers. Yusuf's brothers want to get rid of him. I mean, not really kill, they didn't kill him, but get rid of him. That's it. Send him away so that they wouldn't be under the effect of conscience. So their ego will say, yeah, now we are in the superior position. Let's compare to passion. It is simple. But the passion is the most dangerous. You can see that. You can see, for example, if a person is carried away by political ambitions, ambition to become rich, really it is very difficult to help this guy. You have to resist. You have to resist even at the expense of they can really rip off your shirt. This is what I mean. It means your somehow outward appearance. What does it mean, outward appearance, as far as the conscience is concerned? Maybe temporarily damage you from the surface. From the surface. That is what happened to Yusuf. But those people who are impartial in the case witness that what? It is not the conscience wanted to join passion, but passion wanted to really invade conscience. So people can understand this. It is within the human nature to understand. Now we will see the same story in Adam. Now, my first what is the word? I don't remember. What did they say first? Claim. What claim was it? What the word was? Saying that I'm sorry. I have to admit this. Okay. Sorry.
Confession?
No. They say, look, these are my. I have to remember the word. If Allah wills, He will remind me. Inshallah. Disclaimer. No,
I have a question before you go there. What does it mean to invade the conscience?
To cover up, to make it disabled, if you like. That's what I understand. So it will be there, it won't be damaged, but we made it disabled. Can you imagine if, in the example, Aziz's wife got hold of Yusuf? What would happen? Yusuf will be sorry for his own, for all his life, but at the same time, that point, he is captured. But the reality of conscience does not change. Only you can get the shirt, it means outward coverage, torn off. Because this bothered scholars a lot about the verse in the Quran which says, yeah, almost Yusuf was going to incline to it. What does it mean? Of course, we don't discuss this case with this language or with this attitude. Yeah, a prophet cannot be. No. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is not our subject. It is not really our method, within our method. Conscience cannot be corrupted. That's what we have to understand. But temporarily, we may disable it. I don't know whether really helps.
So you're saying ego cannot destroy the conscience, but the passion can.
Yeah. No, ego comes with an alternative suggestion. That's why Iblis is going to do in our Adam story. Alternative suggestion. passion, not only alternative suggestion, wants to capture and employ the conscience in its own satisfaction. I believe that, for example, it is very obvious. I mean, I'm not really being sarcastic about the politicians, although I have nothing to do with them. They are not my concern. I'm not their concern either. But yeah, for example, if a man can deny or would prefer to deny the creator, I said, I don't want to believe in such a thing at all. I want to enjoy my life right now. Everything is fine to me. Excellent. Why should I bother? I'm exploiting the freedom, not understanding the reality of human choice, the free choice. And then some people may propagate against religion, saying, oh, it doesn't make sense. It's just legends, stories. Come on. Of course, I mean, if we present, for example, Adam's story as a story, the people will never believe in it. So what are they talking about? That made up story. I don't know what are they talking about. They say, of course, that's why we cannot blame people if we present these kind of narrations in the Quran, which consists of at least half of the Quran, especially the lives, the stories related to, or narrations related to Prophet Muhammad's life, the Uhud, Badr. And this is, I always find it difficult to remember the act, some act. Anyway, some war conditions and the hypocrites conditions in Medina. If you include all of them, then it exceeds half of the Quran. That is why it is important to have a substantial and a reasonable method to study the stories mentioned in the Quran, including the stories, not the stories, maybe it was known to the contemporaries of the Prophet in Mecca and Medina, but we cannot say that all the bad things are addressing to Abu Jahl. None of my business. He died away and he is not concerned anymore. And I don't know why God keeps telling me about what Abu Jahl did to the Prophet or Abu Lahab did to the Prophet. No, they were bad guys according to the narrations of the Quran. I don't know, I don't care. Now we have to really revise and establish a perfect, satisfactory method in understanding the narrations in the Quran, so that half of the Quran should not go into trash, irrelevant. We have to be very serious about this matter. Of course, I realize the importance of understanding the stories of the Quran in my life later on. At the beginning, not very much, but the more I study, the more I talk about, the more I have discussions with my friends about it, I become more and more convinced that I think the first thing we should learn how to read eternal speech of God in a completely universal level, which is, I find myself in it. I have to, because my God is speaking to me. So that is what it means as far as I understand the importance of establishing this methodology. Disclaimer, as we are going to study and go into the analysis of the story of Adam, and also we will need to refer to the story of Yusuf as we unexpectedly and also in a non-conventional way understanding of the story of Yusuf. Now, apart from really, frankly, as I learned the methodology from Nursi's writings, apart from Nursi's writings, is people take some lessons from it, but not directly relate to your own practical life right now. That is what Nursi established this methodology, and I really benefited from it, definitely first appreciated it and then benefited from it. And I said, okay, he didn't make many examples. He gave only 2 examples and short examples. But methodologically, it is established there. It is our duty now to apply this methodology to all other stories or narrations in the Quran. There should be no narration in the Quran when we read the Quran. Everything must be directly related to me. Description of hell directly related to me now. Description of paradise directly related to me now, including these descriptions as well. Not only prophetic stories or the events happened during the life of the prophet, and also the language addressing first to the prophet and saying, tell them they are saying this, and tell them what they want, or how dare they say this. Don't they know that it is directly relating to the prophet and nothing to do with me? I would take pity on the prophet. Oh, how much he suffered. How about me? Yeah, I mean, he suffered a lot for us. They are not in the sense that the Christian theology talks about Jesus, but he really did his best to keep the revelation and convey it to me, and also keep the revelation alive, not die away, protect it. With what? With his wisdom, not with his power. Wisdom. Act according to the requirements of the environment, but never, ever give in at all. So we'll come back to the disclaimer. I always deviate. We will refer to the story of, the fresh story of, we did the same thing to Moses, but very fresh one is the story of Yusuf, and related the story of Adam to Yusuf's story, see the parallelism between that. Our interpretation of the story of Yusuf really is in alliance with the story of Adam. And then, of course, the story of Adam will be in alliance with my life. So that if somebody is really convinced that the story of Yusuf represents the conscience, ego, intellect, or passion. Now, nothing else. Historically, none of my business. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, because I don't know the wisdom of God, but what I know the wisdom of God is to teach me, to guide me, to understand the reality of my existence, therefore, to become aware of what the truth is. Of course, ultimately, the truth is God. But we have to follow the path to truth and end up with concluding that it is God and his actions. The truth is God and his actions. Yes, the Quran says, we say, yeah, it must be so. We confirm the Quran. This parallel will be frequently made, inshallah, as far as I remember. But because of this process of relating the stories to each other and what they really mean the same, nothing more. So if we are going to talk about the same thing, why do we study the story of Adam then? To train ourselves how to benefit from the stories of the historical events to me, and not to relate the Quran to their mentioning about their whatever the subject of the story was, their time, neither to the time of the prophet. Yes, time of the prophet is narrated to us. We can relate it, but it is not the ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose is to tell me what my reality is. Therefore, you will see many repetitions. These repetitions are not it is not going to be about repeating the same matter, but it is about how this kind of approach to the stories, because you are not going to always be in this class and listen. No, at the end, or even now, you have been studying the Quran, try to apply it, but you must be very careful and well ready to study the Quran, never, ever as a story or history book. Not at all. Even addressing to the Prophet, saying that, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. The first narration, everyone says, which is not wrong. I'm not saying this is not true. It is made up story. No, none of my business. My business is, of course, it is related to the prophet, which is historically evidentiated or the confirmed through narrations. It is something to do with me, correct, because of relation to my prophet, which I know through his life stories narrated to me. Yeah, I appreciate them. Yes, the angel Gabriel told to the prophet, said, Iqra, read in the name of your creator. Although the narration says, the prophetic narration says 3 times, read, read, read. I don't know how to read. We must really well be well know, well aware of the story than me. I'm not very interested in stories, so I don't pay attention to them. But you may well know, better know than me, the story. At the end, he says, I don't read, I don't read. Shahrani family, mic is open. Yeah. I don't, I related to myself because the prophet said, I don't know how to read it. It means in order to be the recipient of the revelation, not from the Gabriel, but through the Gabriel and through prophet and then narrations or the narrators coming to you. Yeah, you will be receiving the message at the end. The Mus'haf is in your hand. When you read it, the Quran speaks to you, starts speaking to you. It means revelation starts to speak to you. Right, so I don't have to be an educated or somebody, because the Quran's advice to me is not to read a book, because historically also known that the prophet said, I didn't know how to read and write. I don't know how to read. And there was no book available that time in Mecca. There was no education. Nothing, just people are educated through customs. Just what is really inherited from their previous generations. That's it. Traditions, not as a result of special education. And now, the Quran made it clear that, no, you have to read what your Lord, your owner, whoever owns you, created out there. So the Quran says, even to me now, even I claim to read and write in certain languages, but it doesn't mean anything. It is not the purpose of the Quran. It is related to my, it is an invitation, sorry. It is an invitation to me to read the creation in order to understand what the revelation is going to teach you. Without reading the creation, you cannot read the Creator's speech. You cannot really grasp it. You have to combine them together. Yeah, it is to me. But Prophet was illiterate. Of course, I know how to read. It will not mean anything to me. Now, inshallah, we understood the disclaimer. Please don't be bored if you hear the same kind of interpretations in the story of Adam, and also, as we mentioned, not also, as we mentioned in the story of Yusuf. Inshallah. Right, let's read the first verse that we are going to start, inshallah. When your Lord told the angels, it is Baqarah, the second section of the Quran, verse 30, I am putting a successor on earth. There are two words that we have to pay attention to. One of them is successor, Khalifa. The other one is, I am, it is translated as putting a successor on earth. It means ja'ale. The original word is ja'ale. This is important because ja'ale is different from khalaqa. It means, khalaqa, it means to create. Ja'ale means, I'll try, I'm not good at explaining the differences between the words because my vocabulary is extremely narrow, than a child vocabulary only. Khalaqa, to create. Ja'ala, whatever is created, giving a special status to it, or giving a special form to it. That is ja'ala. For example, human beings are created and giving it status of being a caliph on earth. Although human beings are created, the rest of the creatures in the universe, the animals or plants, or immediate things, created things out there we experience daily. But, for example, let's say dogs are ja'ale. I'm using the word to make the distinction. Dogs are created, but everybody is created. As far as the creature status, createdness, if you like, is concerned, everybody is equal. In the universe, everybody is equal. But when it comes to ja'ale, I am using this word now. I have to make this word, although we don't study Arabic, but we have to understand the difference. In this case, it is important. The already created dog is given a status of the best creature to smell. I mean, it may not be the best, but better than human beings. To smell. That's why the dogs are employed for this purpose. and also to defend and be loyal to their owner, etc. Ja'ale. These qualities of the dog is going to be mentioned in the Quran as ja'ale. I think it is clear now. When you read the Quran next time, when it says ja'ala, it means not create, beyond creation. What is already created is given a status in the creatures. So in the universe, in existence, everything is created plus everything is ja'ala, a status, a special status. Nothing is equal. You see the animal kingdom, you can easily understand animal by looking at the animal kingdom, looking at the vegetable kingdom, if you like. Every plant has different function. Every plant is different. If you go really in a detailed examining, you will understand that every part of the plant, every part of the animal has different quality. It means ja'ala something. So what does it mean? The significance of it, which I really was amazed when I realized first the difference, not only linguistic difference, no, the purpose of the Quran when you use khalaqa, when you use ja'ala. So I understood that all the names, the qualities of the Creator must have been manifested, reflected in the act of creation on top of each other at different layers, so that every creature becomes unique in its existence. That's what we understand, that, and also make a very big claim saying that, and a very, encompassing claim that everything in the universe is individually created. Yeah, if you see the examples that you can investigate, cats are different, squirrels are different, dogs are different. Every species of bird is different. So every bird's lifestyle is different. The lifespan is different, unique. Everything unique to each other. That's why we have to see different qualities of the Creator manifesting at different layers so that we can make the distinction. We say, this is a stone, this is a tree, this is an animal. We can make the difference. For example, when we look at nowadays, the dogs, really, you can say that these are different dogs. When you look at each dog, for example, you may say that they are the same. Yeah, they have a general common characteristics, but at the same time, every dog has a unique, special habit of life. For example, those people who keep the dogs as pets, if they have 2 dogs, they will tell you, this dog is like this dog has this character. They will tell you the difference. Although if we don't study them or observe them carefully, they may seem to be the same. All the appearances are different, but we can see it comfortably when we look at our friends. Can you say any quality of any friend is exactly like another friend's quality? No. As soon as my friend calls me and says, Assalamu alaikum, I know who is calling. Why? even the way he says Assalamu alaikum is unique to him. So Ja'ala is everywhere. Okay. I think, sorry. Something is disturbing me. Sorry. Okay. I am Ja'ala as successor on earth, which means having the quality of being a successor is a special position to humankind. No, you know that you have a special status in creation given to you by your creator. So be careful and don't spoil it, and enjoy it. And do whatever it is necessary. We will understand why Caliph, successor. Successing who? I will use it. Oh, there is something in the chat. Let me see. Enabe wrote long ago, I think. Sorry, I missed. I didn't miss it. I saw it, but I kept postponing to read it. Let me read it first and then go about the word Caliph, successor. Using this method of receiving the creator's speech as a direct personal message, do you receive the same message every time, or do you continue to find new understanding? I took it, thank you, which is a practical question. I love practical questions. I will take this question not as my personal life experience. And like everybody else, I don't like to talk about my personal life experience, but if something common, for example, I love the Quran, when I read the narrations of the Quran as related to me. It's a general principle, but it doesn't mean that I always do that, or I am conscious of it always. No, that's my personal matter now. But I will take it as a general. Let's say, if somebody receives the same message every time, or do you continue, or does he continue to find new understanding? Right. If this person is aware of his life experience, what am I doing? Why am I doing? What is my purpose, of course? And how successful I am. If a person is conscious of this reality, his reality, then anytime he feels any change in himself, anytime he experiences any change in the creation, which is continuous change, then he will see this adjustment between his understanding of the universal message in the Quran as applied to his new situation. He will understand it as applied to his new situation. Why? It is very important and exciting. The question is important as well, practically very important. Why is it important? Because, very simple, conventionally, we take belief happened as happened. I don't know, really happened. Is it a belief or is it information? Receive it from certain people. Depends. I'm not saying somebody doesn't have it. No, I would say everybody says, I believe in God, I will take it. I have no other way to doubt about it. But theoretically speaking, If somebody says, I believe in God, whatever the reasoning he had or evidence he had about this claim, and that's it, I'm a believer. And then start reading the Quran or start reading as the Quran orders actually, the creation out there. What is created? الذي خلق, your Lord, whoever owns you, your existence, created something there. That's why we cannot isolate our existence from the existence of the rest of the universe. So my creation is always taken into consideration alongside with the creation of the other world. So I am in contact with them, continuously I am in contact with them. So I cannot isolate myself from the rest of the universe, impossible, as long as I am created in this form of existence. So I have to relate everything to my life, and strangely enough, as the creator continues to change his creation, it is expected of me that, of course, my creation is also materially, bodily is changing, my experiences are changing, but the main subject in the question was my belief. Is my belief refreshed and updated to a new situation? Oh, it is a very alive responsibility that we cannot ignore it. Why? I am a part of the universe. That is why we are going to study Caliph, his Khalifa. The original word is Khalifa, the successor. Some people translate it as Caliph. It means successor, really. In general, successor, I have to be loyal to whom I am succeeding. I have to be loyal to it because I'm not the originator. I am not the final authority. I am just receiving the authority from the main authority and representing him here, successor. That is what human beings are in general, because there are many other verses in the Quran. If anybody wants to share, I can share it. For example, I have taken the notes there. Ma'idah, An'am 6, chapter 6, An'am 165, and chapter 27, 62, verse 62, chapter 35, verse 39. All these verses mention that everybody is a caliph. So we understand that not only Adam is caliph, it is in this example of Adam, I find myself here. So successor means this. Now, the main authority has a plan or anything to be fulfilled, executed. Okay, he says, on earth, you execute my plan. Who is this? Main authority, the owner of the universe. And appointed human being as his successor, acting on his behalf. What we human beings are expected to do, to execute his plan, his aim, what he wanted to do by creating this. We investigate the creation, we understand that the function of the creation is just to reflect to conscious human beings or conscious beings in general, there is no need to talk about the jinns or some other angels conscious. This is not our concern. I know, I'm aware of my existence. I am aware of the qualities in my existence. It means, with the language of the Quran, ja'ala, whatever God gave me speciality in my existence, special to me, I have to fulfill the purpose of its existence. So within my own capacity, as much as I'm given. Of course, I cannot say that the capacity belongs to me. I'm given that the ja'ala, with the beautiful word is ja'ala, actually, as far as the difference between creation and khalaqa. So I have to see from the capacity that I have been given to execute the purpose of the Creator, who is my creator and the universe, the creator of the rest of the world. So we are together, created together, but every creature has different function. My function is to fulfill, to execute the purpose of the Creator in creating the things, including myself. What a big responsibility. And also, if I am expected to fulfill this responsibility, I must be given the ability to do that. It means I need this ability if I am the caliph or successor, khalifa, in the language of the Quran. I must be given this capacity. So what is the purpose of the Creator who created this world? But somebody says, no, I don't believe in God. All right, that's your choice. I'm not saying you are right, but I'm saying, okay, you have the capacity to fulfill the purpose of existence. So you say, nature created me, or nature, my existence is natural. All right. What is the purpose in it? So that you will fulfill it. That's your share. Now, what this civilization presents to us, the purpose of existence, they don't use the word creation, purpose of existence, accidental, natural, whatever the name they use, doesn't matter, is, for me, my capacity enables me to exploit it, to use it in order to satisfy myself. That is what all science is about, technology is about nowadays. It shouldn't be, yes, it shouldn't be. But we have to be very careful about this very prevalent culture influencing the people, innocent people who cannot really access the message of God. But they say, no, they hear Islam. Which kind of Islam they hear? Go and listen to the videos or books that are written, mostly speaking about already believing people and how they should practice in the best way of their belief. They never question their belief. So these people who are questioning, rightfully doubting, but to doubt is very human. If someone doesn't have any doubt, it means he's not a human being. That is our unique character, one of the unique characters. So if someone really doesn't have some sort of, they call it benefit of doubt or something like that, if they don't benefit from it, they cannot confirm what they claim to believe. So they have to always on alert. Am I really right? Is it really true? Now new things are created today. God is very merciful, but the weather is in winter very stormy, and there are some so-called calamities happening there. Is it really merciful? Ask. See the purpose of the creation in it, so that you will fulfill, execute this purpose. Well, I'm sure you don't do that, but they will say that the Quran says that we created human beings and jinn to worship me. So the purpose of creation is we have to worship God. This is just encyclopedic for information. You have to confirm it. You have to have evidence for it. Is it really? Why? Why? What does worship mean, really? I mean, it's a very challenging question. What does worship mean? Well, really, I haven't read from ordinary videos or what does worship mean in the language of the Quran. Ibadah, liya'buduni, in order to worship me. What does it mean? Prayer, yeah. What does worship mean? What does prayer mean? Prayer means not supplication. Supplication also, the Quran orders supplicate. Yeah, وَادْعُوا رَبَّكَ تَضَرُّعًا وَخِفْيَةً. Make supplications, invoke God with utmost modesty and secretly within yourself. That is what the Quran says. We have to see, is it really true? Can I really do that? And is there any purpose in doing so? Can I get any satisfaction as a human being? Experience it. Compare it. Human beings can do that. If I don't do it, if I do it, what will happen to me, especially intellectually and feeling-wise? My feelings. Which one is more appropriate to my feelings or to the purpose of the existence of my intellect, to my existence of my feelings? How are they related to? Can I really confirm it? These kind of questions needs experiences. Now, caliph, we are caliphs. As the Quran says, am I really? Yeah, look, some people exploit, misinterpret the purpose of caliph as plundering the universe, plundering the creatures, employing them in order to satisfy their egoistic desires, which declare self-sufficiency and getting some material benefit from it in order to satisfy their egoistic expectations. Egoistic expectations. So they use the research of the creation in order to produce technology, use the technology in order to become rich, exploit innocent people, and use their ignorant side. They don't know what they are doing, why they are doing, so exploit their ignorance and use their labor and claim to be superior and try to play the influential role in your society and say that I am one of the influential person in this world. If you are in the field of politics, those people usually don't go into politics. They use politicians. That's the practical thing in the world. So they just manipulate from behind, employ them. They exploit the universe. They exploit the politicians as well. So none of the politicians can act independently. They worship their electorals or whatever to vote for them. So in order to satisfy, they play everything in order to satisfy the expectations of the voters, make up stories, tell lies, everything. So anyways, egoistic satisfaction. Look, Caliph became traitor of the universe's administration. What do? If someone is a traitor, in the language of the Quran, is, I think, we say, let me remember the word this in this. It's a very interesting word used in this Quran as traitors of God's dominion, Creator's dominion. Khattar. Kullu khattarin athim, as the Quran says. وَمَا يَجْحَدُ بِآيَاتِنَا إِلَّا كُلُّ خَتَّارٍ أَثِيمٍ. No one really rebels or signs in the creation, only those traitors and immersed in satisfaction of egoistic ambitions. A theme which is called sinful. It's simple. What does simple mean? So that's what I understand from it. So just turning everything into their own satisfaction of their compassions. Just opposite. Passions. Egoistic passions. Anyway, these traitors are going to be expelled from this universe. Like any secular state treats the traitors in a very severe way. And everybody says, yeah, they must be punished very severely. Of course, this is the sense Allah gave us, our Creator gave us. And he says, don't be traitor of my dominion as well, my property as well, the universe. So don't rebel. Don't misuse it. So we have to understand that Caliph is expected to act on behalf of the Creator. Now, the rest of the verse says, I think the time is really late. Let me read it. They said, how can you put someone there who will cause corruption and bloodshed? That's a beautiful question. The angels said, well, questioning God. Angels are questioning God. Even they question, what do you mean that? Why do you do that? I really wonder. It means not an criticism of it, but I'm surprised that you are doing this, as if I know better than you. But of course, the human beings, when the human beings question, they don't claim that I know better than God, but I express my wonder. Why do you do that? They will call corruption and bloodshed there, wherever they are living. There, who will cause corruption and bloodshed? When we celebrate your praise and proclaim your holiness. I understand here, angels, but angels what? As they manifest in the universe, bringing the, if you like, command of God, executing them in the universe. So I would read this, a whole universe celebrate your praise. It means God's praise, and proclaim your holiness. It means really, holiness means really, it is perfection. Why did I choose this word? Holiness is nukattisu. But nukattisu means declaring something holy. But what does it mean? It means this is most perfect. no defect at all. Yeah. And then, but God said, I know things you don't know. And then we will continue. So we will see that some people are really causing bloodshed and corruption. That's the option that we are doing in this world. We are mostly choosing in this world nowadays. And still, God says, oh, they are going to cause corruption and bloodshed. Why should they cannot be successor, my successor? The creator of the universe is speaking now. They cannot be my successor. No, it says, no. I know what I'm doing. Let me see what he knows. Now he will explain us in other verses. Inshallah, we will continue to read. Afshan says, without a human being to receive, what good are the messages the angels bring? Afshan, thank you. It's a real human concern. But we should not look at any verse like this. Look, since I am here, now, today we didn't mention, but we have to read the Quran, the speech of God, taking in mind that he is speaking to me according to my capacity concerning myself. So I have to read it. These messages are to me, and the creation there for me, I am created to see, examine the message alongside with the creation and confirm it or reject it if you can. Reject it or confirm it. When I confirm it, I will fulfill the purpose of its creation. I am the caliph now, successor now, because I am fulfilling the purpose of creation. Although we didn't have time to talk about the purpose of the creation. I think you all know that we very frequently mention this point. The purpose of the creation, as far as I can see, using my capacity given to me, my given capacity, I see the creation as teaching me, revealing to me who my creator is by demonstrating, reflecting the qualities of their creator. And I am a part of this existence. So if, let's say, in a typical example, I always give the example of tree. What should I give another example just for the sake of rhetoric? So when I look at the tree, I see that it is manifesting the qualities of its creator to me. Now, as a successor, what I have to do, I have to receive this message and reflect the qualities of my creator as a human being, not only my body. As a human being, reflect my quality, the qualities reflected in me, and confirm it is source of reflection. You are this. You must be like this. Do you see that there is a fraction of meaning of worship? Fraction of meaning. It has many other aspects, but referring back, admitting it, confirming it. Worship doesn't mean doing something extra. But we have to fast, for example? It is not extra. You have to investigate it. If you are doing it as an extra work, it is not fasting. It is not worship. It is just custom. It must be, you must feel it, that it is my real functioning. When I pray, when I fast, when I'm careful about environment, for example. Well, what am I doing? I'm just preserving the environment. No. Of course, ultimately, I'm preserving it. I'm not destroying it. But it is not the purpose not to destroy the environment. The purpose is to benefit from this perfect creation of the environment and physically don't spoil it, but also as a human being, as a caliph, fulfill the purpose of this perfect balance in creation. It means acknowledge the creator and return all these qualities back to its owner, who is its creator. So this is the best way of fulfilling, one of the example, best way of fulfilling the mission of successor or caliph, or in the language of the Quran, Khalifa. Okay, we may go inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun, and the questioning of the angels. God is narrating to me that this angelic side of the universe also is questioning, why am I doing this? It means I have to question it. The angels are questioning. It means I have to question it. That is the news I got from my creator here in his speech. So the Quran always, my friend Efshan, Quran always speaks to me from my perspective, at my level, and from the purpose of my existence. To fulfill the purpose of my existence, it means to fulfill the purpose of my being a caliph, Khalifa. That is what the purpose of the Quran must be, and we have to be loyal to this purpose. Inshallah, read the Quran accordingly. Okay. Any urgent question? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bihurmati sirri surati al-Fatiha. Thank you very much. Inshallah, next Saturday's Monday and next Wednesday. So